glittering theater of our solar system, we are often distracted by the celebrities. We marvel at the golden ringed majesty of Saturn. We dream of the dusty red fossils of Mars. We fear the screaming, gas-choked storms of Jupiter. But hiding in the shadows of the spotlight, clinging to the very edge of the sun's furnace, is a world we have spent centuries ignoring. We called it the runt of the litter. For generations, astronomers dismissed it as a boring dead moon, a scorched rock with no atmosphere and no secrets. They were wrong. Mercury is not just a rock. It is a victim. It is a survivor of a cosmic crime so violent it defies human imagination. It is a world that was literally murdered in its youth, stripped of its skin, and left to bake in the fires of a star that is slowly trying to swallow it whole. This is not a planet. This is an iron prison, a dying world that is currently crushing itself into oblivion. Today, we step into the furnace to witness the horror of the shrinking heart of Mercury. Mercury is named after the messenger of the gods for a single reason: its speed. It is a fugitive, racing around the sun at a staggering 47 kilometers per second. While Earth takes a leisurely 365 days to complete its orbit, Mercury finishes a year in just 88 days. It has to. Speed is its only defense. If it slowed down for even a heartbeat, the sun's gravity would reach out and consume it instantly. But here, physics reveals a cruel irony. While Mercury races through space, its rotation is agonizingly, painfully slow. It spins with the lethargy of a dying beast. On Mercury, a single day from one sunrise to the next lasts 176 Earth days. This creates a mathematical nightmare. A day on Mercury is twice as long as its year. If you stood on the surface, you would witness a cosmic glitch. Because Mercury's orbit is so elliptical, the sun doesn't just rise and set. At certain points, the monster in the sky stops. It moves backward, then it moves forward again. It is a sunrise that hesitates, a celestial hallucination born of gravity and violence. But you wouldn't have time to marvel at the dance, because to look at the sun here is to look at your own executioner. Imagine standing on the scorched surface of this iron world. There is no blue sky here. There is no air to scatter the light, only a pitch-black void above you. Even at noon, the sun hangs in that blackness like a god of war, 3 times larger and 7 times brighter than what you see on Earth. You are standing in a planetary pizza oven. The ground beneath your boots is a hellish 430 degrees Celsius. Lead would melt into puddles around you. Your spacesuit, no matter how advanced, would turn to ash in seconds. You are being bombarded by a relentless stream of solar wind, a firing line of radiation that has spent 4 billion years sandblasting this world into a battered gray corpse. But the true horror of Mercury is its mood swings. Because there is no atmosphere to hold the heat, the moment the sun finally sets, the temperature doesn't just drop, it collapses. In a matter of hours, you are transported from a furnace to a cryo chamber. The temperature crashes to -180 degrees Celsius. Fire and ice exist side by side in a state of eternal war. And in the North Pole, hidden in the deepest craters where the sun has not touched the ground for billions of years, there is something impossible. Ice. Billions of tons of water ice, frozen in permanent obsidian darkness, just miles away from the melting heat of the surface. It is a world of contradictions, a place where you would be incinerated by day and shattered like glass by night. To understand why Mercury is the way it is, you have to look inside. Mercury is heavy, far too heavy for its size. It is a cannonball in space, a world that is practically all core. Scientists have discovered that Mercury's solid iron heart takes up a staggering 85% of its entire volume. For comparison, Earth's core is a small fraction of its size. Mercury is a planet with its skin ripped off. How does a world become a naked, bleeding iron core? The only explanation is catastrophic violence. Billions of years ago, when the solar system was a chaotic graveyard of forming worlds, Mercury was likely a normal planet, perhaps twice as large as it is now, a twin to Earth or Venus. Then, the murderer arrived. A stray planet, a cosmic wanderer the size of a mountain range, slammed into the young Mercury with the force of 1 trillion nuclear warheads. The impact was so devastating that it didn't just crack the crust, it stripped it away. The outer layers, the mantle and the crust, were vaporized and blown into the deep void of space, leaving behind only the dense metallic seed. Mercury is a planetary crime scene, frozen in time. It is the leftover remains of a world that was never allowed to grow up, but the trauma of that ancient collision wasn't the end. Mercury is still suffering today. Because its iron core is so massive, it holds an incredible amount of heat. But that heat is fading. As the core slowly cools over billions of years, it does what all cooling metal does. It contracts. Mercury is literally shrinking. Imagine a grape turning into a raisin as the heart of the planet pulls inward. The surface has nowhere to go. The ground begins to buckle, scream, and tear. Massive cliffs, called thrust faults, are ripping open across the landscape. Some of these are 3 kilometers high, towering walls of rock pushed up as the planet crushes itself into a smaller and smaller prison. This is not a dead world. It is a dying one. It is a world that is shivering, quaking, and slow motion imploding under its own weight. Every time a new fault opens, it is a reminder that the iron prison is getting tighter. We have tried to reach this scorched monument, but Mercury does not welcome visitors. To reach Mercury, a spacecraft must perform a suicide dive toward the sun, fighting the massive gravity of our star every step of the way. It takes more energy to reach this tiny rock than it does to reach Pluto, at the very edge of the abyss. Only 2 of our emissaries have ever dared to orbit this furnace, Mariner 10 and Messenger. They found a world of beautiful chaos, covered in craters named after our greatest artists, Beethoven, Shakespeare, Van Gogh. But Mercury is a graveyard for our machines. In 2015, after 13 years of service, the Messenger probe ran out of fuel. It didn't just drift away. It was allowed to crash. It slammed into the surface at 14,000 kilometers per hour, creating a fresh scar on the face of the planet. Its metal carcass is still there today, melting and freezing in the 176. Day cycles, a silent monument to our curiosity, and a victim of the planet's relentless heat. Mercury is a reminder that the universe is not a place of order, but a realm of unpredictable violence. It stands as a scorched monument to the power of our sun, a world of iron and silence that has endured the fire for 4 billion years. It shows us what happens when a world loses its protection. It shows us that a planet is not a guarantee. It is a fragile existence. Mercury is the iron prison that reminds us how lucky we are to live on a noisy, living blue marble, where the days don't last for months, and the ground isn't trying to crush itself into a raisin. We often ignore the runt of the litter, but Mercury will still be there, dancing its hesitant dance in the furnace, long after our own sun begins its final transformation. It is a survivor, a victim, and a warning. Stay curious. Keep looking up, because in the deepest glare of the sun, we find the most terrifying secrets of our own survival.